Did your parents keep your baby teeth? It's more common than you'd think. My name is GiBi, this is Good Idea, Bad Idea, and on my second channel where I talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, I made an offhand comment about how everyone just has baby teeth lying around their house, and people had an issue with that. So having real bloody teeth is points in the direction that it's a real kidnapping, and some of them being baby teeth is points in the direction that it's a prank because everyone has baby teeth just lying around their house and it would have been easy for Parker to get. So I ran a poll on YouTube and Twitter to break down the amount of people who say that their parents kept their baby teeth. I expected it to be like 90-10 in favor of people who kept their baby teeth. Like, yes, of course, you're a parent. You're going to keep your children's baby teeth. That 10% in there, that's for like orphans. That's for like we were fleeing the war and we couldn't bring our teeth with us. And I was shocked by the results of the poll. Let me just add the 5,200th vote here. Yeah, so apparently it's roughly 60-40 in favor of not having kept your baby teeth. I cannot fathom this. But statistically, you watching this would say that your parents did not keep your baby teeth, meaning that I'm the weird one. Going through this, what I also found is that the 132 people who left comments were significantly more likely to say that their parents did keep their teeth and then explain, like, where they kept them or why, or, like, specifications of how this happened. So all the comments are like, yes, of course, this is how, and then apparently that's the minority, by, like, a significant margin. On Twitter, I added an option for I don't know, so the results are slightly different, but it's basically 30-50, still in favor of no. I don't get it. And then the comments are very similar. Only the 6 that I got polled as a child. I've got mine somewhere still bloody too. We gave them to the Tooth Fairy. This is gonna pop up a couple times. I don't know about all, but definitely a lot of them. And now we're gonna move on to the YouTube comments. They're in a little aluminum box with Tweety Bird on it. Finding my baby teeth in my parents' drawer was how I found out the Tooth Fairy wasn't real. Not only did they keep my teeth, I recently inherited the family jar of teeth. 40 years of collecting everyone's teeth. Even my childhood dog's puppy tooth is in there. There must be at least 20 in there. We have a teeth jar. And yeah, just because I feel very defensive about this, because to me, this is what you're supposed to do. And I'm not just saying that because it's how I was raised. Obviously, I believed in the Tooth Fairy. But once I got just old enough to not believe in the Tooth Fairy, I went to my mom and I'm like, what did you guys do with all of our teeth? And my mom's like, I have a little vase. And I put all the teeth in there. So me and my brothers, all the teeth are all mixed up. And I'm like, wow, I kind of would like, I don't know, maybe I wanted my teeth, but if they're all mixed up, it's fine, it's whatever. And I just don't, I spoke to my mother and I asked her, and I said, why did you keep our teeth? I want the parents' perspective. And she said, because I wouldn't think ever, could not even imagine myself throwing them away. And that's the exact thought that I have. I'm sitting here and I'm imagining apparently 60% of parents who walk into their child's room, reach under their pillow and grab a tooth, take a dollar bill and slide it under because they're the Tooth Fairy, and then take this tooth that they just took from their child and walk in the kitchen and throw it in the garbage can? How? I'm not saying that, like, you need to have, like, a good use for the tooth. I'm not saying, yes, of course, every normal parent makes a necklace out of teeth and wears it around. I'm not saying you need a sentimental attachment to them. Just that when you get them, when you're an adult and you get the tooth, you can't throw it away. So you just kind of put it somewhere. And that's what all these comments are saying. They're just like, yep, it's in a jar. It's in the tooth jar. Then the cat climbed on top of the piano and knocked over the thing holding them, spilling them all over the floor. I found baggies of them in my sock drawer after my parents died. Yes, and they are labeled. Now, the comments that are coming from the no people always have the same sort of tone to them, which is, no, that's weird. No, and they actively discouraged young me from trying to keep them, which is absolutely fair, because keeping teeth is super weird. Lol, why would you do that? I can't fathom how you wouldn't. I asked my mom because I assumed the answer was no, but turns out she did keep them, she just lost them. And that's fine. Losing them or leaving them behind in a move, like, it's not, oh yes, I can go to the teeth drawer right this second to pick out the teeth. It's in the moment when you're taking them away to do the Tooth Fairy. Do you store them somewhere or do they go in the trash? That's the real question. I don't like the answer, apparently. So here's the thing with, like, it being super weird. While 60-40 is a big gap, obviously very clearly in favor of not keeping them, 40% is still high. It's not incredibly weird. It's not like that's an odd thing that only your family does. It's still a lot of people. And yet, what I keep seeing from the no we didn't crowd is, why would we? It's weird. It's obviously not that weird. And then what I keep seeing from the yes people crowd is, of course we did. I will say yes, we did keep my baby teeth for a while, though very technically I don't think it was my parents. I remember having a little container that had those teeth in them for a while. Then it vanished, and I really don't care to find out where to. I have some of my brother's baby teeth in a vial, mine might be somewhere. Yes, and they're kept in a drawer, which is always weird to open it to. Like, you go to, like, the miscellaneous drawer to get, like, an X-Acto blade, and there's just, like, a little bottle, like a pill bottle with, like a bunch of teeth in it. I do not know. Thanks for playing. I wish they did. I love teeth. I would have done some weird craft with them. See, this is the person that I think all of the no people think all of the yes people are. And we're not. You just keep teeth. Yes, and now I keep my own baby teeth in a jar on my shelf. They feel cursed. Yeah, we have the baby teeth of me, all my sisters, and a tooth they had to remove from one of our dogs. Didn't keep the baby teeth, but my sister and I gave our grandpa our wisdom teeth when they got extracted, smiley face. He hates them. My mom still has them in a box in her closet. Kept the first one, but that's it. You know what, that's also fair, because a lot of people have baby books, like a scrapbook, and they'll be like, oh, here's a lock of hair from baby's first haircut, and you put it in there with like the ultrasound and like some photos and whatever. You want to put the first tooth in there, that's fine, and that still counts in my book, but in your baby book, in my book, that counts. My mom just asked me if I wanted mine. No, you know, Mom, you can keep them. I'll inherit them one day, and then I'll decide what to do with them. But you know, it's fine. They were spread all around my old house. Some of them were in kitchen cabinets, and some were on my mom's nightstand. They're still there, lol. There's the third comment where someone says that their parent's a dentist, which is fair, I guess. No teeth, but my mom has my umbilical cord in an old pill bottle, and I make fun of her constantly for that. I don't like that one. No, I had pretty normal parents who didn't do weird things like keep teeth. We kept them in a Ziploc bag in our freezer. My grandma, who raised me, kept them. And then a few years ago when I asked for mine, she sent me both mine and my dad's and aunt's. So now I get to be the weirdo with a little box of teeth. The box also includes all my wisdom teeth. See, I didn't get my wisdom teeth out, but both of my brothers did. And I don't know, like, at what point in the dental work does the dentist ask you if you want to keep them? Like, when they extract them and, like, put them in, like, a tray, I guess, and they're covered in blood, does the dentist go, oh, and by the way, I know that you're, like, unconscious right now, but do you want us to, like, wash these and give them back to you, or can we just, like, throw them away? I don't know. Leave your wisdom teeth stories in the comments down below. Yes, but then no, my mom kept all 3 of our teeth in the same jar until she realized there was no use in them and threw them away. Again, I'm more talking, like, in the moment when you have, like, an 8-year-old child. How can you bear to throw away their tooth? I would put them in a glass next to my bed, and my mom would flush them down the toilet while I slept. Once, my sister's friend had to sleep in my room, and accidentally drank one and gave me like $20 lol. I think that person lives in a sitcom. If I ever write a sitcom, that's going to be an episode. Maybe not like a full episode, that would be like the C-tier storyline. My mom made earrings out of them. If there's like a spectrum from the, ew, why would we do that, weirdos, to the, my mom made earrings out of them, weirdos, I just like knowing that I'm solidly in the middle of, I couldn't throw away my child's teeth, but I don't necessarily have a reason to want them. I have some of my younger siblings' teeth inside a stuffed bear. You're not invited to my sleepover. You don't get to drink my teeth. I kept my baby teeth because I wanted to see if the tooth fairy would come if I didn't say anything to anybody about losing teeth. That's fair. I totally did that when I was younger. It's like, oh, if I don't tell mom and dad I lost teeth, I can prove or disprove the tooth fairy. Guess what happened? What actually happened is, we had this little box. We didn't put the tooth literally under our pillow. We put them in a box next to our, like, nightstand. And I just, like, had the box out for a while, because I think I lost a couple teeth in a row. And I just had the box. And so I think what I did is one day I put my lost tooth in there, didn't tell my parents, and then it didn't get taken. And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess there's no tooth fairy. But then it just kind of stayed there for a while. And I don't exactly remember how it came about that I went to my mom and I was like, oh, can you give me money for this? I kept them. I also kept my adult teeth. I had them surgically removed for health reasons. They sit in a little bag next to my computer bag. This isn't a joke. Yep, and gave them to me when she gave me my baby albums. The normal thing to do. I keep saying normal even though I'm losing the poll. We gotta get those poll numbers up, folks. I need you door knocking. Every single neighborhood. Knock, 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 knock. Hello, have you heard of our Lord and Savior, the Tooth Fairy? Keep your teeth and vote in the polls. Yes, my mom has me and my brother's teeth in a Christmas fairy cigarette box. No, my mom still does have my umbilical cord, though. That's 2 people out of the 130 comments. That's too many. People keeping teeth is a serial killer behavior. I'm just gonna down thumb that one. I kept my sons, too. Correct answer. She gave them to my babysitter, which is super strange to think on right now. Thanks, GiBi, lol. I had to know. I had to know what this meant. I said, and she goes, "You're making me remember I don't appreciate this." That was her payment. You will be hearing from my therapist about this. And I asked their permission to tell this traumatic story on the show. And they said, "Include me or this is all for nothing." Okay, wait, there's new lore as of after the last time I read this, but before I'm recording this. She was way older than my mom at the time, but I will absolutely ask. When I was imagining this, when I think babysitter, I think like the 15-year-old girl who lives down the street who's coming to babysit like the 9-year-old child. So when I imagine the scenario of the babysitters asking the mom for the teeth of the child, is I'm imagining like an artsy goth 15-year-old who's like, "I want to glue a bunch of teeth to tennis balls. I will go around to all the parents who I babysit for and ask them for teeth." And that is totally normal for me. I understand that. I think that a tennis ball tooth would be cool. Or toothed tennis ball. Tennis ball tooth is different. I guess you could like cut it open like a Pac-Man and give it teeth like dentures. But that's not as cool as like a bouncy ball made of teeth. Either way, the babysitter's older than her mother. That's weird. Yep, they're stored in a Kinder Surprise capsule, lol. Yes, mostly because I thought teeth were the coolest thing ever, still do. No, but I have the last 4 I lost when my parents gave up the Tooth Fairy thing, LMAO. They are in my fossil collection right now. And finally, what an odd question. I understand that it relates to your most recent video, but I can't help imagining someone who's never watched your content getting this recommended for some reason and beginning to fear your intentions. So statistically, you are likely not subscribed to my channel, because I only have like 1,000 subs. And statistically, your parents didn't keep your teeth. So if you're in the exclusive 40% teeth keepers, make sure you subscribe to this channel so that Venn diagram gets bigger. We need as many teeth keepers as we can to keep this channel strong. You are the enamel of YouTube. You are the calcium of the teeth that is my YouTube members. You should like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Be sure to be nice to each other in the comments, consider supporting the creators you admire, and never lose sight of your teeth. I would like to thank my patrons, Brandon, Lauren V, Morgan, Nan, Scott, Sophie, Suka, and Wooly, as well as Billy, Chamikon, Klaus, Kopacker Fan, Eliza, Halmar, Johnny the Night Guard, Kira, Lauren R, Rose, Sebhar, Thamagata, World's Greatest Bard, Ya Boy Peachy, Zany Face, and Zimmy, as well as Courtney, Emily, Gremlin, HHD, Jinx, Jose, Mustard Shirt Guy, Rolo, and Riley, as well as Ellie, Jojo, Mariuna, and Ray.